Okay, let's get on to this next part right here. Genie in a bottle. Okay, you are walking along a beach and your toe hits something hard. Oof. You reach down and grab onto a handle and pull out a lamp. It's sandy. It is sandy. You start to brush it off with your towel, and poof, a genie appears. He tells you, "Thank you for freeing me from that bottle. I was getting claustrophobic. You can choose one of these purses as a reward." Uh, Usually, that you figure like 3 wishes, right? But he's like, you get to choose one of these purses as a reward. Purse A, which contains $1,000 today. Let me mark this up using this markup tool. It contains $1,000 today, right? If you leave it alone, it will contain $1,200 tomorrow by magic. The next day, it will have $1,400. So you can see there's a pattern going on. This pattern of 2,000 additional dollars per day will continue. Okay, so that's purse A, right? Purse B. What's purse B got? It contains 1 penny today. 1 cent. Wow, that is not a whole lot, right? Do you want $1,000 or do you want 1 penny? But leave that penny in there because tomorrow it will magically turn into 2 pennies. The next day there will be 4 pennies, and the amount in the purse will continue to double each day. I don't know. Which purse do you want? Maybe take a guess first. Think about it. Don't think too hard, but just real quick. Which purse would you take? Would you take purse A or would you take purse B? Would you take the one with $1,000 today and another $200 the next day, each day for forever? Or would you take the one with the 1 penny today and then tomorrow there's 2 pennies and each day it doubles? I don't know. I mean, I know which one I would take, but it's up to you. Okay, so let's answer these questions. How much money will be in each purse after a week? So after 1 week, right? Remember, 1 week is how many days? Right? Where's my... Oh, I'll stick with red for now. Right? Just so we know, this is 7 days, right? 1 week. After 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, which is what? That's 14 days. We've got to kind of convert this into days because that's the that's what we're working with here in terms of how much additional dollars we'll get in each of these. Okay, so let's do purse A. Purse A. How much will it have? You might be thinking, let's do some math, right? Let's do this. Ah, come on. Still working on this. Okay, so it contains $1,000. $1,000 today. And then we're going to add $200 each day. So let me see. I'm going to add 200 plus 200. I'm going to do first for the 7 days for after 1 week. Plus 200. How many times do I have to do this? 7 times, right? I'm going to add 200. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equals. How much money will there be in purse A after a week, after 7 days? Let's see, 1,200, 400, 600, 800, 2,000, 2,200, 2,400. I think this is going to be $2,400. Can I add a symbol on here? It won't let me. That's okay. Oh, what's going on here? Give me one second. Okay, so anyway, here's purse A, right? Here's purse A after 1 week. I've added $200 each day for 7 days because that's 1 week, and we end up with $2,400. 2,400. By the way, what's another way we could have written this? What is another way we could have written this repeated addition for 7 times? There's a word that starts with an M, and if you've thought about it, multiplication is the word I'm looking for. So another way to write this summary, or this sum, sorry, of 200 is that we could have said plus 200 times 7, right? We've added it 7 times, and that would get you the same answer. So as like a little note here, just for myself here, repeated addition is the same as multiplication, right? The reason I think that's important is because it tells you, is this gonna work? You know what, I might have to just put this somewhere else. Sorry. I just wanted to make that note because it's kind of like what I was doing here when I was doing repeated multiplication, and it's the same as an exponent, right? But in this case, it's repeated addition. Anyway, so what about purse A after 2 weeks? After 2 weeks, actually, you know what? Let's skip that for now. Let's skip that because you could do it out. It would be plus 200 times. What would that be? Actually, you know, we could do it here. What would it be after 2 weeks? It would be 1,000, right? Plus 200 times 2 weeks is 14 days. We could be adding 214 times. And I'm not sure what that is, but I could throw that in a calculator and get an answer here. Let's do that. Let's throw that in. $3,800. 3,800. This is after 2 weeks. Ooh, chill out. All right. How do I get in here? How do I do this? Still messing around with this kind of tool, right? This is let me just write it here. After 2 weeks. Okay, so after 2 weeks of this purse that's magically growing by $200 each day, we've got $3,800. Okay, fair enough. Let's take a look at purse B. What do you think purse B would how would it be different? Will it be more or less than purse A? Well, let's take a look. It's starting with 1 penny, right? So, and it's doubling each day for 7 days. So let's think about what would this look like? 1 penny. What's 1 cent? How do you write 1 cent? Not just one. That's $1, right? 0.01. That's 1/100th of a dollar. It's one cent, right? But what are we going to do to it each day? We are going to double it, which means we're going to multiply it by 2, right? We're going to multiply it by 2, and then if we want to know what it's worth after 7 days, how many times are we going to do that? We're going to do that 7 times. We're going to multiply it by 2, by 2, by 2, 7 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so what does that penny turn into after 1 week, after 7 days? Do it in here. Oh, wow, it's a whopping $1.28. Wow. If you chose purse B right now, you'd probably be kicking yourself. You'd probably be saying to yourself, "Oh my God, what a terrible choice I have made. Um, I can't believe I chose this. I wasn't thinking at the time. How could I think a penny would be worth more than $1,000? Why would I do that to myself? Right? Um, and you'd be right. Like you compared to the $2,000, $2,400 that you'd have here in per se, you've got $1.28. But what about after 14 days? Well, how would we do that? Um, well, let's kind of like what's another way we could have written this? I don't want to write 14. You might be thinking to yourself, after 14 days, I'm going to do times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 14 times, right? Or what is another way we could have written this? What's another way we could have written this? 0.01 times 2. Now remember, repeated multiplication is the same as an exponent, as exponentiation. So times 2 to the power of 7. That's the other way we could have written this. Equals $1.28. So what about after 2 weeks? How much will we have after 2 weeks? Well, we could do 0.01 times 2. 2 weeks is 14 days. So what's a shorter way to write this? If you're thinking to the power of 14, then you're right. That's exactly how I've written that. So let me throw that in the calculator. Again, I don't really care what the answers are to these things. $163.84. $163.84. That's still not much. $163.84. That's still not a whole lot, right? Like, I guess I should. You know what? Let me just do it in text box. I'll fix this later. After 2 weeks, you're probably still kicking yourself. Like, oh man, I could have had, $3,000, almost $4,000 if I had picked the other one. Now I've only got $163. Man, I really should have picked purse A. Because purse B hasn't worked out for me, right? The genie later added, but let's see if that's right. Let's see how this goes. If we go further into time, like further ahead into the future. The genie later added that he will let the money in each purse grow for 3 weeks. How much money will be in each purse then? Okay, so let me put a little text box here. How many days is 3 weeks? How many days? Those of you who are quick on this kind of stuff. 3 weeks is 7 days each week. 7 times 3 is 21 days, right? Now let's let it go out for 21 days. And let's see what happens to each of these purses. Maybe I can copy and paste this. Let's do it again. Well, same logic, right? Purse A, how much will we have versus purse B, how much will we have? See if you can think about it. Take these examples that we've done here and think about it yourselves. Purse A, this is how we did it. This is what we said after 1 week. This was after 1 week. It was just a shorter way of writing it. Instead of plus 200 7 times, we did plus 200 times 7 because multiplication is the same as repeated addition. So how much will purse A have after 21 days? If you're thinking that it would be $1,000 because it's starting with 1,000 plus 200 times 21 days, then you're right. Add 200 21 times, right? 21 days. Let me put in the calculator and see what we get. Okay. $5,200. Right? It's gone up by $200 each day, so steadily increasing. Steadily, very like the same amount each day, right? Now we've got $5,200. This is after 3 weeks. 21 days. What about purse B? We have in purse B. Started at a penny, right? We said we multiply by 2, we double each day. And the shorter way to write repeated multiplication is with an exponent. So instead of doing times 2 times 2 times 2, we could do times 2 to the power of 7 for 1 week, for 7 days. For 21 days, what would it be? If you're thinking, oh, come on. If you're thinking, let's take that penny and let's double it, times 2 for 21 days, times 2 to the power of 21. That's right. That'll give us the total that penny is now worth. Throw it in that in the calculator. Holy crap! Now we've got $20,971.52. $20,971.52. So wait a second. Now, if you chose purse B, let me just write this in here. This is after 3 weeks. Now, if you chose purse B, you're probably saying, ha ha, ha, I told you it's going to be more, right? Because now you've got almost $21,000. You've got like way more than this 5,000. So what happened? What happened there? Well, doubling, right? Repeatedly multiplying by something is eventually going to catch up to just adding the same amount each time. And that's kind of the hallmark of exponential growth. Here's number 3. I'm not even going to answer it. Which purse contains more money after 30 days? Take a guess. Take a guess. This was already more. Purse B was already more after 3 weeks, after 21 days. So which one do you think, purse A or purse B? Yeah, of course, purse B has more after 30 days. Right? Of course, purse B. I don't know why these are in purses, whatever. Has more. They had more after 21 days, right? And it's just going to keep growing even more. All right, I'm going to pause this video now because I feel like this has gone on a long time, and I will post the second part as a different video. So stay tuned for the rest.